Here we have a Range Rover Vogue. Now, you may have one of these, or you may have a different variation of a Range Rover, or Land Rover, or a Jaguar. And where you might have noticed is that your insurance premium's gone up a little bit. Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. And if it hasn't gone up, it may go up on your next renewal. And the reason for that is because there's a national issue with these vehicles being stolen. And they're being stolen at such a rapid rate compared to most other manufacturers of vehicles. It's just purely because of their desirability. So this car here is a Range Rover Vogue. The customer had to get a Category 2 Thatch Improved Immobiliser installed by his insurance company. So that's another thing that's happening quite a lot. Because of the high theft levels of these vehicles, insurance companies are now asking for various security advices. And it might be different types depending on your insurance company and where you live and what have you. But with him in particular, he needed a Category 2 immobiliser. Now, traditionally, with Category 2 immobilisers, they used to be just a touch key with a receptacle, which is nothing wrong with that. They all work really well, but it does require a hole being drilled into the dash, and basically you have a little tag and you touch it onto a receptacle and that disengages the immobiliser. Or you could have a transponder immobiliser, which a coil has to be installed. And then you have a tag and you have to be quite close to that coil to actually disengage the immobiliser. The issue with the transponder side of it is we tend to fit them on really old vehicles and nothing modern because it can interfere with the modern electrical systems on vehicles. So hence why we'd only install them on old vehicles. Now, with something like this, you don't want to start drilling holes into the dash or anything modern, you just don't want to do that. So we have got a solution. It's called the Pandora Storm. This is a Category 2 Thatch Improved Immobiliser. There's nothing on the dash that indicates it's been installed. There is no holes drilled or anything like that. What it is, you have your traditional keyless key that would lock and unlock the car and gain you entry. But you have to carry the Pandora unique tag to actually be able to get it started. So even if you've got this key, you cannot get it started. And as long as you've got the actual tag, then you can start the vehicle. Now, you don't have to do anything with the tag, it's just proximity. You've just got to keep it with you. So you could put it in your pocket, you could have it in your pocket, in your bag, or what have you. As long as it's with you when you jump into the car, it'll start. As simple as that, really. So there's no further intervention on your part to actually get it demobilised. Now, there's various ways of stealing these cars, and they're doing it very, very quickly. Now, Land Rover's come with a solution that they're doing with their modern vehicles is basically putting these keys to sleep, so it's no longer transmitting, and also trying to get the vehicle to stop transmitting. But unfortunately, they're still being stolen at the same rate. So even with the security update they've done, they're still being stolen. Yeah, so they haven't really solved the issue in these being stolen. So I think something aftermarket, something that is not actually been designed or manufactured by the manufacturers themselves, is probably the best route to go to protect your pride and joy, because it's bespoke. Each installation is different from each other, and it can't be mimicked. So if somebody has knowledge, prior knowledge of the security system of this vehicle, they're not going to have knowledge of an aftermarket system, and especially with the randomness of how they're installed, different products, etc., etc., etc. So I do highly recommend you protect it. You may be required to protect it, and whatever it is, we do have various different solutions that will definitely satisfy your insurance needs, if anything else. So this is a Range Rover Vogue, and I do recommend, if you've got a Range Rover, if you've got a Land Rover, if you've got a Jaguar, whatever variations is it, get it protected, because you don't want it to go missing. And with this one in particular, we did it with the Pandora Storm, which is a Category 2 Thatch Improved Immobiliser, which is insurance approved.